Hey everybody, it's Erin from Erin Makes, and today I'm going to show you how to take a simple jar. This is a jar that we actually have that had some salsa in it, how to clean it and so forth, and turn it into a beautiful beach jar because we're getting into that season. This is made with all the amazing sea glass I have found when I go up and stay with my parents, and so I'm going to give this to my mother as a gift the next time I see her, whenever that may be. It'll be waiting for her whenever that happens, and finished off with a little bit of some rope that just looks super nautical. Supply links are going to be down below. Even if you don't find your own sea glass, there is some places where you can buy some sea glass, handmade or found, depends on your thing. And let's get started. All right, first step you want to do is you want to take your jar, clean it, get all the labels off, and then you're going to etch it. This will give the glass a lot more to stick to. It's going to give your glass a tooth, so it's glass on glass, so it doesn't slide on each other. Plus, it gives it that really cool sea glass look. So in case you don't get every little nook and cranny covered with your sea glass, you'll have that look underneath. And to do that, all you need to do is take your jar once you've cleaned it really well, take the label off, put it in some sort of container, plastic container, pour the etch-all dip and etch solution, submerge your jar, let it sit for 15 minutes, pull it out, clean it real well, put all the solution back in here because this is reusable, and let it dry, and then you're ready to go. So now it's time to add our glass. So I measured my jar going all the way around with this piece of paper. Basically, I measured it. It's going to be about 3.5 inches tall. I'm not doing the part where it lifts up or lifts down. So I found kind of the best space for it. And wrapped around, it's got a tiny bit of an overlap. And this is what I'm going to start building my pattern on of what's going to go in my jar instead of just freehanding it. I actually have a place to go. All right, so you're gonna see a little bit of where I've already started. I took a piece of paper, that same piece of paper, I drew out just some fun lines, and I already separate out my sea glass into different colors, into my browns, my greens, and I also have a bunch of my whites, and then I also do my blues, and I have some purples, but I'm not gonna use my blues and purples today. And then I'm just gonna take my sea glass and just start layering it along the lines. And these are the colors to begin with, so just placing them on here. And then before I place them on my jar, I can just kind of pull them off of my template here and then just place them on my jar where I want them. I'm not guessing where they're gonna go. I'm not sure, do I have enough? I have to keep hunting. My design's all done. And then I'm gonna take all my white glass, because that's the one I have the most of, tons and tons of white glass, and start fitting it in all of the nooks and crannies. So I've got lots of different shapes. This is gonna take the most amount of time. So placing all of this on here, just kind of fitting it in anywhere. And I can use big pieces, small pieces, and I don't need to have, if I have a little bit of a gap, again, I've already etched my glass here, so if I have a little bit of a gap, guess what? It's just gonna, it looks the same, right? It looks like I've got sea glass jar, but it's been etched, so it's awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish filling in this entire piece of paper here with all of my white glass, and I have more in case I run out, and then we're gonna apply the glass to the glass. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and apply our sea glass to our jar using the super tight universal liquid epoxy adhesive. So I just have my glass between a couple of binder clips, that way it won't roll around on me and it keeps it a little more secure, and then I can rotate it around as I go. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the glue, and if you let it kind of sit on whatever surface you want to begin with, it's gonna start drying a little bit faster. It's about a 5-minute bond. So I'm just gonna go ahead and scrape a little bit of this glue on. Remember, a little goes a long way. So just a little bit on there. You can already start to see it. Rest my little spatula off to the side. You could also use a popsicle stick, whatever strikes your fancy. And I'm gonna go ahead and pick right this green line right here as my top. And if my pattern's not absolutely identical to what I've done, that's okay. I'm not worried, it's just a guide. And then I'm gonna keep on applying my glass as I go along. And as I need more glue, I come in here, grab my spatula, and apply more glue. And I'm just gonna go kind of like down the entire, this surface, because I already have my design laid out. I need to work with the jar itself versus going across and doing all the lines I normally would. I need to go vertical because I'm going to be rotating and I don't want the glass to slide off. By the time I get done doing this section, it will have dried and I can flip it and work to the next section. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply my glue. So I got a little bit of working time. Don't over apply, and if your glue starts hardening inside your container, just go ahead and pour a little bit more into a different section of the container and you're good to go. So I'm going to keep on adding my glass to my glass. So I'm about 10 minutes into applying, and these guys over where I first started are on there. They are on there good. They're solid as rock. But the ones I've most recently applied are still pliable. So it's going really well. I've switched to a popsicle stick just to give me a little bit more ease of spreading, and I just keep applying. I got about 5 minutes, so I go a little bit ahead of time and allow my glue to be on my jar, which does speed up the drying time a little bit, but you don't want to go too slow and everything dries out on you. So keep on going. So as I'm coming back to the end, which the beginning was right along here because these guys are stuck on here, the lovely part of this glue is that it's still movable. So if I don't like the placement of where one of the pieces of glass is, I can still move it around because I got about 5 minutes before it's fully set. But meanwhile, over here, these guys are set solid. So I can still, as I'm coming in close, if my pieces aren't fitting, and I've had to finagle them a little bit from my original design and pull out a couple extra pieces because I had some gaps. So I can just kind of come in and I can move them around and really make sure I don't have any gaps or really any holes in my design here. So I'm just kind of playing around with it, make sure that everything is all set and good. So I got the last little bit of glue left before it dries out. I'm gonna add a tiny bit going just all around the lid, the rim of this. And I'm gonna attach this rope that I found. It just reminds me of a little bit of a nautical rope. So I'm just starting with the rope at the bottom here and then just widening it around. And when I get back to the beginning again, to where I started, kind of tuck it underneath a little bit and then just keep on wrapping it around. Two wraps should be good, maybe a little bit more, and then just snip off this extra. So it is done. It looks so cool. I'm absolutely in love with this. This is gonna be a gift from my mother because where I collected all of this sea glass, I actually collected every single, my kids might have been part of collecting this sea glass, was when I go up and stay with my mother up in Canada and British Columbia. And so this is a fun little gift I'm gonna give to her. I absolutely love this rope because it reminds me a little bit of a nautical rope. And then now she can use this to collect more sea glass when I come up. She can use this for flowers. She can use this for whatever she likes. She can put, fresh flowers in. She can collect her shells in there. It's just something pretty. And this is the glass that is found in the area where she lives. I'm kind of jealous to give this to her, but I'll get to visit and see it every time I go up and see her. Supply links for everything I found with the exception of the found sea glass, but you can buy sea glass if you cannot find some for yourself. There are going to be links down in my information section. Please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys again later. Bye everybody.